Tuesday evening, everybody. It's Tuesday, August 17th, 2021. I'm Jeremy Crosby. Hope you had a wonderful day. Glad you're tuning in with us for another edition of Talking Fitchburg. Back in the TF studios today as we work through a nice day. It was too gorgeous not to come into work today. And although I'm doing the back and forth thing, you know. One day here, one day there. Andrew, you're always on site here. And for good reason. You got to transfer all the files.
Yes.
And sometimes the internet can be a little bit slow. Mine too, though. So if you've watched, I mean, obviously.
It's a lot better here than it is at home. That's all I have to say.
Yeah. I have that same thing sometimes, but no, it's not bad.
No.
I'm sure you're like, I got to be, next to Jeremy again, but yeah, there it is. Exactly that side. No, we're glad to be in studio, and we've got a busy show coming up for you here today on Talking Fitchburg. We'll be it's like all music day, which is right up Andrew's alley because he's a music guy. We've got the replay. We're gonna look back at Jazz at 5. Next concert's coming up tomorrow. We're taking a look back at last night's concerts. It was the last concerts at McKee, and it was beautiful weather out there. We're going to take you out there and get a taste of what happened last night coming up in the guest segment. So it's like an all rock and roll. Like if I would have put my, headlines together a little bit better, we could have been all rock and roll headlines too. I can just say this. We're going to rock and roll into the headlines. Didn't work. Face covering emergency order is issued. This came out late this afternoon, and this is what we have here. Effective of Thursday, August 19th, 2021 at 12:01 a.m., the face covering emergency order requires that everyone age 2 and older wear a face covering over mask when in an enclosed building where other people, except for members of person's own household or living unit, could be present. This requirement applies to all of Dane County. So just coming out here this afternoon, and again goes into effect on Thursday, August 19th. As we get more details on this, we'll let you know here at the City of Fitchburg. We've been following all the Dane County orders, of course, and we'll follow this one as well. So we'll put signs out at the door to remind you. But if you're coming into City Hall, please make sure you wear a mask starting on the 19th there at 12:01 a.m. All right, as mentioned at the top of the show, the next Jazz at 5 is coming up, and we have the lineup for you for tomorrow night's big event. Bring a picnic to the McKee Park and enjoy performances by a whole slew. Former employee here used to say that all the time on the show. Loved it. So I steal it from all the time. So there is your lineup. Of course, they'll have food, beer, and wine from local vendors. As well as food carts. Tongue twisted on the food cart piece there. But we'll have that for you. So hopefully you can come out and enjoy the great music. And, of course, the weather this week is just gorgeous out. So you'll have great music for this event. And, looks like a pretty good lineup from what I'm being told. All right, save the date. The Fitchburg Historical Society Fall Program is set for November 7th. That's right. The Historical Society typically holds 2 in-person programs a year, one in the spring and in conjunction with the annual meeting, and another in the fall. The recent surge of COVID-19 cases makes it difficult to plan in-person activities. Given the success of its first virtual program in April, the board is moving forward with a virtual fall program on genealogy research. An in-person option has not been ruled out, but we would be dependent on local public health conditions and meeting space availability. Either way, mark your calendar, November 7th at 1:30 p.m. on the calendar. If there's any specific genealogy topics that you would be interested in and like to suggest, they'll take your feedback. Yeah, all you got to do is send an email to that email address on your screen. All right, Dane County pop-up COVID-19 vaccine clinics are out there if you're looking to get the vaccine near you. Festivals, libraries, soccer games, you name it. They're all over the place this week, and you can see them labeled out here. There's also an interactive map as well. We'll share the link to that so you can check that out as well. You can find any of these pop-up ones, or just check in with Dane County Health and see if you can go to one of their locations as well. But plenty of pop-up areas to get that vaccine. And it's so important to do so and keep up on of course, the good hand washing, social distancing, and those face coverings all helping out as well. But vaccination clinics, those pop-up ones, They're trying to meet you right at location. I know they did that at plenty of fairs. We talked about a soccer game earlier this week. And, of course, now you've got even Dane County dairy breakfast. Breakfast on the farm. Well, it's down in Andrews' neck of the woods this year. So exciting stuff there. All right, continuing on here, Better Business Bureau. Working with your insurance company after disaster, given all the just crazy weather we've had this year so far, I want to put this in there, and some of you did have some damage here in the city of Fitchburg, or maybe you have property somewhere else and there's been damage. No matter what the case is, it says here, natural disasters can leave homeowners with flooding, roof damage, and plumbing issues. Vehicles can get flooded or sustain tree damage. As the cleanup begins, homeowners and vehicle owners need to figure out their next steps and how they will pay for repairs. They must navigate insurance claims and policies as they assess the damage. The Better Business Bureau offers these tips for consumers working with their insurance. First, and simple one. That's what I do. I call up my agent. Say, hey, what's going on? First thing you should do is call that insurance agent directly. They can help you review your policy, understand what is covered, and tell you how much time you have to file a claim. Gather materials. You will likely have an adjuster come to inspect the damage, determine how much your insurance company will pay for the loss. You can help this process by preparing a list of damaged items, providing any available receipts of damaged items, taking photos of the structural damage. Check contractors if your insurance company recommends contractors. Take time to review the business profiles on bbb.org before hiring them. Word of mouth is good too. Especially you don't want to get any of those fly-by construction people coming in. So let's be alert for that. Protect insurance checks. Although it may seem easy, do not sign your insurance check over to the contractors. Get an invoice and pay them directly to be sure that you get written receipt for any payments made. Do not sign any contracts or documents that give the contractor any rights to your insurance claims. And remember, it is against the law for a contractor to offer a waiver in insurance deductible and work the deductible amount into the bid. Be wary of storm chasers and learn how to avoid them. You can read more of these tips and plenty more to review those businesses. Go to bbb.org. All right, finally, turning our attention to Dane County Sheriff's Office, Kelvin Barrett, shared some information earlier this week. It says, words matter, inmate versus resident. And it said at a news conference on Monday, August 16th, the Dane County Sheriff Kelvin Barrett, I was going to say Barrett, shared a shift perspective in incarceration. He was joined by the Dane County Board chairs and Dane County Supervisor and a state representative. And it says here, over the past 97 days, the sheriff has been meeting with members of our community. I have gained a new perspective from our staff deputies and incarcerated within our Dane County jail. Talking with the community members recently released from state, county, and federal incarceration has added to the perspective, said Sheriff Barrett. As we serve, we want to maintain dignity and respect for all those involved in our current criminal justice system. We will no longer refer to incarcerated community members as inmates. Our new title will be resident or residents, or those within our care. I view this change as the way to humanize those who are within our care. As we take part in this transition, I want us to keep in mind that the Sheriff's Office's philosophy and understanding of the importance of this title, such as peace officers instead of law enforcement officers. And it says, in addition, while attending a conference with the nation's sheriff, Barrett discovered sheriffs across the country would already transition using this title, resident instead of inmate. So very interesting piece here, and glad to see that they're putting this in place. And we'll continue to see more changes coming down the road, and we'll have this full story online for you so you can check it out there and read into this. All right, we're going to take a quick break. Coming up next, we open up our digest. We're going to take a look at an interview we did about Jazz at 5, the new concert series here in Fitchburg. That's next right here on Talking Fitchburg.
The central and midwestern U.S. averages more than 850 tornadoes each year, and lately, the number of floods has been rising in the region too. So chances are, there will be more twisters and floods near here again. And between school, sports, and social lives, chances are, you won't be with your kids when it happens. Will they know what to do? Ready.gov/kids has all the educational tools and information to make the conversation easy. When the time comes, chances are they'll feel prepared, not scared. So talk with your family today.
Multiple studies have shown that marijuana can slow both driver reaction and response time, which can be really dangerous. He's here. He's here. Wait. What? I can't drive. Why? My. Oh.
Welcome back into Talking Fitchburg. Joining me today from Jazz at 5, new organization bringing their concert series out here to the city of Fitchburg. I've got Mike Thorson, a board member. Mike, welcome to the show and welcome to Fitchburg. How are you doing?
Fantastic, Jeremy. Thank you very much. A big change for us this year. New season, new venue. We're putting the show on. We didn't have a show last year. Moving to McKee Farms Park, big wide open space, so we're pretty excited about it.
So for people who are unfamiliar with this concert series, tell us a little bit about the organization, because it's an organization, but tell us a little of the history of what you guys have been doing.
Yeah, so Jazz at 5 has put on free to the public performances, 5 nights, starting typically after Concerts on the Square season ends, on Wednesday nights at 5, like the name suggests. We've been doing it for 26 years. First 25 years, we were downtown, top of State Street and Capitol Square. Didn't put on a show last year. Moving to Fitchburg this year. Wide open space, like I said before. McKee Farms Park, very welcome and opening city to work with. We had a great group of people from the city staff that helped us put this on basically in about a 2-month time frame.
Yeah, and we're so happy you're here and happy to accommodate the space. I think that's a big thing. This has grown throughout the years, and yes, we had to take, unfortunately with COVID, everybody had to take a little bit of a stop back. But you guys are just getting bigger and bigger every year.
Yeah, I think when we originally started, 300 people might come to a show. That grew to 500. Then we would regularly get 1,000 people at a show, and if you are aware of that small space at the top of State Street, 1,000 people is pretty crammed in.
Yeah.
Some of the bigger names, Chita Valdez put on a show a few years ago. We would several thousand people. So we've grown. We've grown not only in kind of the types of performances and the caliber performers that we put on and the audience sizes, but we've grown in our sponsorships too. Over the years, we would have a half a dozen sponsors a year beginning early on, and last year before COVID, we had about 25 sponsors for the show.
Yeah, and now coming here to the Fitchburg area, you're still looking for sponsors. As far as behind the scenes go, what's the setup here? So your guys are a nonprofit group helping to bring these performances in and have some good entertainment.
Yeah, that's right. So Jazz at 5 is free to the public. We put on these shows. We're a nonprofit organization. Every dollar that comes in from our sponsors or from general revenue from beer and wine sales at the show goes right back out to putting on the show. The overhead is extremely low. We're very transparent. We'll publish our income statements right on our website. That being said, let me just take a step back and make a pitch, because with every change, there is some drawbacks. So we lost about half of our sponsors moving from downtown. They were long-standing legacy sponsors, but they were downtown businesses. So we're actively going out and engaging the community here in Fitchburg to replace some of those sponsors. We have some great sponsorship opportunities, tables of 8 for each of the series, or a party patio for 50 people if you want to put on a big corporate event for your employees, appreciation night. So we have all kinds of sponsorship levels. Please reach out if you're interested. putting on a great night. Look, we have nice warm summer evenings. We've got beer and wine, catering to the tables for the sponsor tables. It's really a fun event to kind of enjoy a summer evening, have a beer, network with your employees or with your clients.
Absolutely. Well, let's talk about the entertainment that you bring in. So I'm hearing some pretty big bands. I'm looking at the schedule here. It's a great lineup. But tell us what you got in line for coming in this year.
Sure, I actually printed this out so I don't forget the names.
No worries.
The first night we got the Wanna Swing Band and the Cal Bergendahl Project, both regional, local kind of performers. Going to be a great night. I should preface it by saying, so we start the shows at 5, but what we like to do is open it up with a local youth group at 4 p.m. So far we've got 2. If there are any local youth jazz performance groups that want to apply for some of the other open slots that we have at 4 p.m., we think it's a great way for them to get on stage, get out in public, show off what they're doing for their community.
That's awesome.
So one of those, the big night that we have every year is typically the UW night. We have Johannes Wallman comes in, brings in the UW All-Stars, and then the Sky Academy is the youth performance group that opens up that night. That's September 1st. That's always a big night. Evan Payton on the closing night of the season, the last show. That's a great performance. People are going to love that. We stuck mostly to regional and local bands this year, given the uncertainty about planning in January. We didn't even know if we were going to have a show.
Sure.
And if you don't have a show, but you've contracted out to kind of large national performers, it's tough to kind of make that happen. So we stuck to some of the tried and true, really, really super popular groups that we've had in the past. And let's face it, if you're a jazz lover, these groups, they're all going to fit your needs, and you're going to have a great night out in the sun and having a beer and listening to some jazz.
Well, we have our concert series here, of course, and we always say to people, bring out their picnic baskets, bring out that blanket, bring out that. So I would think we'd want to invite the same thing, and then certainly get involved and enjoying some great free concerts here, and glad to have you in the area. We're super excited for you, and we're looking forward to your concert series getting started here real soon.
Yeah, thank you very much, Jeremy. We can't be more pleased. Again, a shout out to kind of Joyce Fry and some of the other members of the city staff. Wonderful people to work with. Angela Kinderman at the Chamber of Commerce has been extremely helpful in helping us set this up kind of along the lines of concerts. Bring a picnic basket, bring a blanket. It's free to the public. Just wander in. We'll have food vendors. We've got beer and wine sales there at the place, but you're free to bring in whatever you want and listen to some great jazz.
All right, final thing, and it's the toughest question here. How can people learn more, donate, or again, looking for sponsors as well? How can people find you?
So we do have a website, jazz@5.org. So of course, we're a nonprofit. Check it out there. You can learn how to become a sponsor. You can send an email to myself or any other board members. Our event director is Spencer Stanberry, and we'd be glad to pick up the phone and tell you about what we're doing and how you can get involved.
Fantastic. Well, Mike, thank you so much for taking the time out. Again, welcome to Fitchburg, and we look forward to having you here for a while and help make it bigger. We'll keep making it bigger, right?
Let's support our community and make Fitchburg a great place to be.
Hey, the whole area here, we love Wisconsin, so we'll take it. Mike, thank you so much. Again, hit up the website, jazz@5.org, to learn about the concerts and to donate as well. We'll take a quick break. More to come. You're watching Talking Fitchburg.
It takes all of us to slow the spread of the coronavirus. So follow guidance from authorities where you live and stay home unless absolutely necessary. Use a delivery service for essential items like food and medicine. If you must make essential trips, stay 6 feet apart from other people. Wear a cloth face covering and wash your hands for at least 20 seconds as often as possible. Visit coronavirus.gov for the latest information.
Gaining weight was easy. All I had to do was sit down and eat. Losing weight's a lot harder. I have to work at it every day. But with every step, I lower my risk for type 2 diabetes and heart disease. And that makes every step, every choice, every day very much worth the effort.
Learn how you can help stop diabetes by losing weight, eating healthy, and staying active. Visit checkupamerica.org or call 1-800-DIABETES.
Welcome back into Talking Fitchburg in the guest segment today. And today we're hitting the road. We're just going down the street. And we're going to be talking about the final concerts at McKee. If you missed it last night, you missed good weather, good food, good drinks, good picnicking, park access, and more. But you didn't miss out on good music because we were there. We're going to take a look at that great concert series now.
All right, folks, but enough about us. Let's hear from the band. Ladies and gentlemen, Mass Music Foundry is very happy to present to you Shakeout.
Well, sometimes you gotta bleed to know that you're alive and have a soul. But it takes someone to come around to show you how. She's a tear in my heart. I'm alive. She's a tear in my heart. I'm on fire. She's a tear in my heart. Take me higher than I've ever been. The songs on the radio are okay. But my taste in music is your face. And it takes a song to come around to show you how. She's a tear in my heart. I'm alive. She's a tear in my heart. I'm on fire. She's a tear in my heart. Take me higher than I've ever been. Than I've ever been. Than I've ever been. Than I've ever been. You fell asleep in my car, I drove the whole time. But that's okay, I'll just avoid the hole so you sleep fine. I'm driving here, I sit, cursing my government for not using my taxes to fill holes with more cement. And you fell asleep in my car, I drove the whole time. But that's okay, I'll just avoid the hole so you sleep fine. I'm driving here, I sit, cursing my government for not using my taxes to fill holes with more cement. Sometimes you gotta bleed to know, that you're alive and have a soul, But it takes someone to come around to show you how. She's a tear in my heart. I'm alive. She's a tear in my heart. I'm on fire. She's a tear in my heart. Take me higher than I've ever been. My heart is my armor. She's a tear in my heart. She's a carver. She's a butcher with a smile. Cut me farther than I've ever been. Than I've ever been. Than I've ever been. Than I've ever been. My heart is my armor. She's a tear in my heart. She's a carver. She's a butcher with a smile. Cut me farther than I've ever been.
Y que no quiero, yo no quiero, yo no quiero regresar. Al burriquito, burriquito, voy contigo. Y que no quiero, yo no quiero, yo no quiero regresar. Y que no quiero, yo no quiero, yo no quiero regresar. Porque yo tengo un burriquito que me lleve. Ay, que me lleve lejos. Ay, que me lleve. Porque yo tengo un avioncito que me lleve. Ay, que me lleve lejos. Ay, que me lleve. Llévame, llévame. Burriquito, burriquito, voy contigo. Porque no quiero, yo no quiero, yo no quiero regresar. Llévame, llévame. Al burriquito, burriquito, voy contigo. Llévame. quiero, yo no quiero, yo no quiero regresar. Porque yo tengo un burriquito que me lleve. Ay, que me lleve lejos. Ay, que me lleve. Porque yo tengo un avioncito y querido, un avioncito que me lleve. Ay, que me lleve lejos. Ay, que me lleve. Llévame. El burriquito, voy contigo. Llévame. Porque no quiero, yo no quiero regresar. Al burriquito, voy contigo. Llévame. Porque no quiero, yo no quiero regresar. El día en que yo me muera, que nadie me mande flores. El día en que yo me muera, que nadie me mande flores. Ay, que manden a los chechos que muestra y los corazones. Ay, saboreando. Saboreando, ay, saboreando, saboreando, ay, saboreando, saboreando, ay, saboreando, saboreando. Saboreando, ay, saboreando, 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 saboreando.
All right, there you have it. We'll have the full replay of this and all of our concerts. It's at Fact TV. Just got to watch it right here on the Com channel. All right, we're going to take a quick break, wrap up the show next. You are watching Talking Fitchburg.
After you joined our family, it was like, I really do feel complete now.
Our hearts are made stronger by how we treat others.
Put her there.
The light you share can impact those around you, but so can the darkness.
Later, twerps. Did Pete saying mean things bother you?
So when you reach out to another person, take a moment to consider how they will feel and let your heart be the key to making a difference. Because of you, someone's entire day, year, or even life can change.
In every heart, there's hope.
Brandon met a girl on a dating app. He finally found the courage to ask her out. No answer. He started to panic. Was he being...
Hey, sorry I didn't respond. I was driving.
She must be a keeper.
Welcome back into Talking Fitchburg, wrapping up the show for the day. And yeah, if you didn't get enough music and enough information about where you can find concerts and stuff, well, guess what? There's one more concert happening. It's this weekend at the Agora Art Fair. Not only can you have great art, that you can buy, but you can sit down and listen to some great artists as well at the Agora Art Fair this weekend. It's on Saturday. What is that, 10 a.m. to 4, something like that, 10 to 5? We're going to be previewing that, by the way. So I'll just have to ask Steve that very question. All right, as we wrap up here, you know where you can stay connected. Check us out on Facebook and YouTube. And of course, have a great night, everybody. Get outside and enjoy these nice temperatures.